Good morning, good morning, good morning, and good evening. I'm from the other side of the world if you are over there. And welcome to this morning's Messages of Love from Above. I'm excited to get into the readings today. Just get my desktop all set up here, and we will get started. If you want to know how all the free readings work or donations, all of that information is in the description box of the video down below. So you can check that out and I'll be on for a couple hours. Be bugging out around 12:55 p.m. Mountain Time to go to my praying mantis session for my YouTube members. Also, if you haven't uh, looked at the video of the giveaways for October and to get into the giveaways for November, if you check the description box of the video, there's a giveaway playlist, which will you can look at the most recent video that came out and it will tell you all about it. So that is what we'll be looking at here. And I'm going to be using, at least I'm going to start off using the circular original tarot. I like these. They were calling out this morning, so we'll do that. Hey, Supernova, I'm doing good. How about yourself? And welcome, everybody. We got a wonderful group of people here. So, welcome to the Soul Family. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, and we will get started. Of course, as I mentioned, I do prioritize donations, and I try to get through as many as I can. So, but we'll start here. As soon as I clear my pipes here, and we'll take a look here. Oh, beautiful. I love that, Supernova. That's so perfect. That's exactly what they were talking about yesterday. So perfect, perfect. All right. Well, let's get into your reading since you have donated. So you will be up first. And let me give your first donation some love there. And so we'll get started here. So let me just shuffle these one more time. All right. It's always good when you try to shuffle around cards and they don't go everywhere. So we are good. So you'd like to know some channeled messages from Kurt's spirit is where we'll start. So let's see, what does Kurt want you to know right now? All right. And I want that one. All right. So I love this. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Two of Cups and and we've got the 10 of Swords and the Three of Swords. So these right here represent all the expectations we have around love and relationships and that type of thing. And so, it's coming in here first that it's like this acknowledgement from them that, wow, the work that you've been doing on transforming what relationships mean. And it's not just romantic here. It is about family, a lot of family, friends, um, acquaintances slash acquaintances he put in there and just and romance and everything else. But I feel like the big impact is friends and family that you've been really looking at releasing expectations on them as well as yourself. And I feel like that's below the surface, that consciously doing it, but a lot of subconscious work that's been going on too. Let's take a look here. Yeah, because you've got the first two cards coming out are the two and the judgment card, which when you add 20 together, 2 plus 0 equals 2. So there is a lot of, um, you know, focus in on here. Yeah, exactly. And so it's been really subconscious because the high priestess goes behind the scenes, connects to the spirit world, behind the veil, but dives deep into the subconscious. And so there's been this domino effect of things that you've been doing that are transforming things in the subconscious without you having to consciously do it. That's funny. But we've got your higher self here too. It's calling you. Oh my God. You get this card like every single time, it seems. You're calling, you're being called to this higher place, but your higher self is also assisting with all of this, with this um, transformation, this alteration that's happening below the surface. And that's what happens when you deal with one thing in your mind kind of goes back and looks at other things that are connected to it, related to it, and it just kind of reformats it, kind of refiles things, puts things in different order. And as you're raising your love vibration and you're letting go more and more of these fears, that's what is happening below the surface here. And because that's where, our higher self and spirit and all of our posse, they know everything that's going on below the surface. They get to see it all. Yeah. And so you definitely have here with these new thoughts and these new beliefs and this new connection, you're having this new passion that's coming in, this heightened energy, this connection that's very deep here. So you do have this new beginnings, this new starts, this new stuff. You calling it stuff, all this stuff that's happening within you. And uh, not to fear here about, here's the Nine of Swords, which is, again, a lot of these are happening below the surface, but any fears and that you're aware of that are keeping you awake or dreaming, anything that's coming in is helping you with it would be your worth, how you're looking at yourself in a different way. And this is on the bottom of the deck too, which is, the page and the King of Pentacles, about seeing your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. And I like this, and even have the 3 of Cups on the bottom, which is, your spiritual posse letting you know you're not alone in all of this, and they're always working for your highest, good and experience in this life. And good is not like good and bad, but our highest joy, our highest love in our lives. Um, and so he's just like wants you to know. I mean, he's all part of that team that's helping with all of this unfolding. So um, it's it's funny. It's not as hard and as much work as we think it is. So I like that. He's like, you're not doing it all yourself. You don't have to do it all yourself. You can pretend like you're doing it all yourself, but you're not. We're all here. He's funny. So I feel like that's the message of support, of letting you know you'll see things change and you won't even realize it while it's happening. You will more look and recognize some of this when you look back at a situation and go, "Oh, you know what? Normally I would have gone off the handle and, cut people off at the neck, but it didn't even bother me. Wow, I didn't even realize that," and people are noticing it. Too, people are noticing a change within you, and they'll mention it like, "Are you okay? Are you on drugs?" Because you're just calmer. You have this calmness and this energy change that's happening. So I love that. And that's what he has for you right now. So thank you for your first donation. And then number 2, let's give that some love here. And you wanted to know, what did you learn from your past experiences and how did it define who you are today? What a great question. Let's take a look here. Let's see, what does spirit want you to know? Of course, there's so much that we learn and grow, but let's see what they want to focus in on here. All right. 21211. All right. So, past experiences, and we're talking about like this lifetime, because we can go back into past lives and there's all sorts of information that we bring into this lifetime. But here again, we've got the 2 of Cups coming up, which is the importance of relationships of all kinds and the joy and celebration and the gathering together, the importance of celebration, right? And joy. And, one of the big experiences that you're learning is that we can look at this is like power of emotional choice too, that I can choose joy in any situation, or I can choose to be ornery and upset and mad and lower vibrational emotions when it comes to situations. My natural state is joy, and that's what they want you to know is your natural state is joy. And what you're learning is that almost a little bit what we talked about already, where just because you've been taught that when this happens, this is how you're supposed to feel and how what story you're supposed to put to it, what, energy and physical action you take, but that one of the big things you're learning and defining who you are today is your emotional choices that you've made, and you realizing and rebelling in a way against, like, I don't have to feel that way about whatever's happening. I get to choose. And so there's this empowerment that comes in here, and I like that. You know, it's like I get to choose. And so, like you said, your family is saying that you've been being avoidant and they see changes in you, but um, you know, it's the thing is when we stop acting and responding as the tribe would, that shakes and rattles some cages, right? Because if we're raised in a tribe, a family, or whatever, even friends or whatever, and we start acting differently than everyone is used to, it starts freaking out the inner children, the inner child of people, because people like all of our human side likes consistency, likes things a certain way. And when someone goes against it, whoop, alarms go off, right? And they will go into fight or flight and try to, control it and make you try to be who they want you to be. But the more that you consistently are a certain way, they get used to it as well. But so I like this stepping into your power. And again, Queen of Wands. So Queen of Wands is, she rolls over the wands, but all the queens are given a second portion of cups. So this is also about your spiritual gifts and your intuition have been expanded through your experiences. And whether, it was enjoyable or not, sometimes when we have people who seem bipolar in our lives, it heightens our awareness. We start paying attention. We start trying to feel about how do people how are people feeling? Because I need to know before I step outside my bedroom door or I step into a door or into a room with someone. Because I'm like, I need to kind of sense the energy. And it's funny because it's like both you know, when you walked in thinking they're happy and then, rah, you get, greeted by a fire breathing dragon. You're like, okay, before I go into this cave next time, I'm just gonna kind of peek my head in and see what I feel. And so the experiences have, caused you to do that, and so they're not bad, right? As you start to look back over your choices of how you were defining a situation with your mind, it's like, oh, well, I'm grateful because I wouldn't have been as enhanced as I am with my empathic abilities had I been in just a happy, joyful home all the time, right? It's like, okay, starting to transform your thoughts, your emotions, your energies, and all that. So I like that. Excuse me. And so we've got the Justice card here with the Ace of Swords and balance of the scales and the 10 of Swords. Your past experiences are formulating you, and your past experiences formulated all of these long list of supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts. Like every single human child, we're inundated through praise and punishment about the stories, like I was just talking about, the stories that we put to each thing. And I love this. So far you've got emotional choice with the 2 of cups. Queen of wands is talking about your energetic choice. Whatever you focus on grows and expands. Now you have your mental here that you get to choose, even though you've got all of these habits of thinking that when that thing happens, this is what it means. When that thing happens, this is the story. But the Justice card comes in, dun, da, 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 and the Ace of Swords allows you to cut away these small T truths, balancing out the scale. because of course in the beginning they're way out of balance because we're inundated with all of this. But the more you're connecting to the higher realm, it is balancing out the scales here. And so your experiences of your past taught you certain belief systems of, when someone doesn't do what you think they should do, you're supposed to be disappointed and and then they are a villain and a disappointment. But then we're like, no, I don't have to feel that way. I can look at things differently and take control of my thoughts and my beliefs and my mindsets, right? Excuse me. And your experiences that have made you who you are today, it's like you were in this like if you ever have watched Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, I just feel like you grew up in like this Thunderdome, you know, seven people walk in, but only one walks out, but there is this, you learn to stand up for yourself and you've learned to have to, uh, it's like in order for you to thrive and survive in your past experiences growing up, you really had to stand up for you because it almost felt like every man for themselves. There wasn't someone that was so much standing up for you, and because of your past experiences, you had to do that. But it gave you power as well. It's you don't expect other people to stand up for you. You just do it for yourself. Um, and when you do get a helping hand, it's not expected, and you're like, "Wow, this is great." And overall, the whole experience you have, the King of Pentacles teaches us that, we go through all these outer experiences to bring us into this place of looking at our worth. You know, we're taught to look at our worth from the outside world, right? And all these things is like there's these disappointments that turn us inward and upward because we discover people, situations, and things aren't stable. The human people, the human relationships, people change, people walk away, pass away, and everything's constantly changing and shifting. That we learn to turn inward and upward for all that, and then we that's where we find the solid place. So all of your past experiences have created this character that you're playing here, all the backstory, even your like your astrology and numerology and all that life path, all of that was the backstory of this character, but every character has a low expression and a high expression, and there's no right or wrong. There's just different expressions that bring us different things like lower vibrational energy, higher vibrational energy. And we start off down here because this is what we came here for, to experience the lower vibration. But at some point in our life, which you are, way ahead of the game and your awareness already, you're having these higher experiences and you're like, yeah, I want to experience different things. This has been okay for a while, but I want something different, right? Almost have a couple decades of lower vibration and you're ready for the adventure. You've learned a lot of things, have a lot of tools in your belt, have a lot of weapons in your stash, a lot of arrows in your quiver, and you're ready to head forward. So, you know, well, I mean, just that you're inquiring about all the stuff that you're inquiring about, you're ahead of the game. A lot of people don't really do self-reflection until late 20s, late 30s, but you're just like you're looking around and really, connecting. So, it's huge. So that's what they have for you with that. And so much more. Our lives are filled with so many awarenesses that we don't even know that are going on below the subconscious, but these are things that spirit wants you to be conscious of right now. So that's what they have for question number 2. And then question number 3, donation. Thank you for your third donation. Gonna give that some love. And then excuse me, you want to know what the energy is like in your heart space or channeled messages regarding your heart space. And I am being drawn here for this one to the Oracle of the Seven Energies. It's beautiful, beautiful deck here. If I can do it. There we go. Rainbows. So let's take a look here and see what comes in here. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to boast, Supernova. I'm only 18. No. Gosh, at 18, I was so confused, so lost. So, yeah, you're in, I was going to say an ole, but you're an old man. You're an old man in a, in a young body. Yeah, you should. You should be proud of yourself. Yeah. No, you're kidding. I'm just razzing you because I can. So you're you got card number 50. I think it's 50. Nope, it's 30. Sorry. Card number 30. So maybe you're a 30-year-old person in an 18-year-old body. But you got this shining through here, and I love this energy of your heart, your heart space. It's like a lotus flower that's just psh, 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 this beautiful energy coming out there. So sorry, I'm still hacking up this morning. My apologies. And let's see here. So this energy is all about self-expression without filters or masks, authentic communication, being proud of who you are. Literally. Wait, you said I'm proud of myself. Being proud of who you are and shining in the world, refusing to make yourself small just to belong. That's the energy of the card. Says you're being called to step into your true power and essence. This is one of those times when you're required to bring everything you are, all that you've learned. I love, like we just talked about, everything you've experienced and integrated, and offer it up in service to the world. And when you take center stage, you will be noticed. Yes, as you shine brightly, you will naturally stand apart from others. This idea may bring up excitement and genuine pride or discomfort, but this is not the time to make yourself small to avoid the glare of the spotlight and potential punishment by others. It takes courage, but know that this is the right thing for you today. You have come so far. You have been in the proverbial back of the room in learning and gathering mode for so long, and this important time has served its purpose. You must now step into a new consciousness, seizing a new opportunity to share your wisdom. You will be like a lighthouse, shining through the dark, illuminating the way for others. Be careful of the voices in your head that say, you can't, or you don't know enough, or who are you to shine? The better question is, who are you not to shine? All you are and all you have become is by the grace of the divine. Now it is your duty to share your gifts. Celebrate this. So, pretty much summarized your other questions. And I love that. So your heart space is one of service and of sharing all of that with the world. I just love it. Center stage, shining in the spotlight. I mean, all of this, you're destined to be seen and to be heard, and you're sharing your wisdom through your music and your lyrics and everything like you were talking about with your song that just flows and you channel this beautiful energy. So it is. I love this for you, Supernova. So what a wonderful encouragement. I would save this video. And yeah, I love that. It's what a perfect card here for your heart. Because you have such a heart of wanting to share with the world and wanting to help them transform emotion to joy, joy, joy. So I love that. Boom, boom, boom. Perfect. All right. And that's what they have for you. I love how they speak to you. And again, thank you so much for all your multiple donations. I appreciate those so much. And I'm excited. Like I said, we're all going to look back here and go, you remember back when, when she had time to come into lives? Now she's on tour. I love it. So again, thank you so much and hang in there, my dear. I'm going to move to next. We've got Mia Mia. Thank you for your donation. Going to give that some love there. And hello. So we want to check here and see, do you see your next job being in Spain before the end of the year? All right, we'll take a look here. All right. Yep. We'll take a look here. Well, it looks like you've got some choices coming up here because you got the Two of Swords, which is like being in a fork in the road. And, close your eyes and open your heart as well. But you've got this journey, and I feel like you are going to be going across some water here, possibly um, to get to the other side there. That's really standing out to me. Normally it doesn't. And so obviously it means something. But let's take a look here and see. We're going to have Spain on the left, and then, ooh, what's this on the right? So you do have, it's like here, I almost feel like with the Queen of Wands does have kind of like the Queen of Spain in a way. Very fiery, very passionate, very hot-blooded, but very able to zoom, to super focus their energy and get things done. But this also is, I don't know why these are not um, focusing very clearly. So apologies if that is real out of focus. But this is, she, connects to the spirit world. That black cat represents her connection to spirit. So closing your eyes and opening your heart, and connecting to spirit is important in these decisions here, because it feels like you are going to be having like two different choices coming up here. What is this other thing here? Yeah, because it feels like that you have the Eight of Pentacles, which is the movement of things in the outside world, putting in the blood, the sweat, and the tears. So I do feel like you are going to get this, some job offers coming in, because you've got the five of the major arcana, which is the Hierophant, and this is being drawn into something that's more true to your authentic self and your authentic dreams. And it's not going to be, something that you settle for going, okay, well, that's good enough. It's like, all right, I feel drawn and I definitely want to go this direction. This is what I want. And if you take anything that like you settle for, it'll only be a stepping stone temporary for this to come in anyway. But you definitely have this, it's destined for you and it's coming your way. It's meant for you, so it's not going to pass you by. So if you do happen to, accept a job that's like, well, that'll do for now, you will get this other thing that's coming up here, because you've got the fears, fears of failure. We've got all these expectations that come in, and I kind of feel like, that's what we have. We have a choice of fear, and we have a choice of, what our true path is here with those. So I just feel like there's something more that's in alignment with who you want to be and what you want to do, and you know really connect with spirit as much as you can. Trust your gut, trust your heart, not our fear that we feel at the pit of our stomach. That's different. You know that gut instinct and that spiritual nudge, because it feels peaceful and full of love, not I got to do something, right? And so there is this energy, this time to step in and communicate with spirit and trust that you are going to know which one is which. And I know we can become impatient because our human side, it needs stuff now because it wants to feel safe. and in control and, have things resolved, and I need to be on my path. I need to do this, but and that's a great reminder for all of us just to be able to go, you know what? Right here, right now, I've got everything I need in my journey. When we're anxious, we're in the future. When we're depressed, we're in the past. But we can be in this moment and be like, I'm loving this journey. I'm building this trusting relationship with spirit, knowing that, whatever's meant for me is not going to pass me by. I know I'm not being punished, and that I don't, even if the world has taught us, about, well, if you don't do everything, you're going to fail. You got to do all this. And it's like, life isn't as difficult as our human side is trying to make things out to be. They just like throwing wrenches into things and making us, freak out and have anxiety because we came here to ride the rides, right? Ooh, you're getting on a roller coaster. It's not the little train that goes toot 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 around the park, that the children's ride. We're on this roller coaster that goes upside down and all around, and we come in here for that. But trust here. I feel like, that you're gonna get some answers here, but, there is no wrong choice. Whatever you make, if it's like, "Well, I feel like I need to take this job, so at least I feel safe for a while," and you can, but then a week later, you get an offer where you're running and going, you're like, "Oh, sorry, everybody, but I got my dream to live. Bye." You know? So you can make whatever choice you want, but don't let it hold you back in making a different choice when something else opens up for you. Because I feel like there is this. It's a coming. So hopefully that helps Mia Mia. And that's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. Again, thank you for your donation. Maybe you're going to France. Donation. That's my French accent. My attempt at one, anyway. So many blessings. Enjoy your adventure. I feel like you're going to be getting answers very soon. All right. And then we are into It's Moi. Thank you for your donation. Let me give that some love there. Let me see. Did I did all those others? Yes. Great. And then your question is below. So you're just feeling down and lately have been having shortness of breath and difficulty sleeping. Might be due to changes in diet, cold weather, but your mind is thinking the worst case scenario. You would love a future reading with a focus on love and future husband. All right, we'll take a look here and we'll see if they have anything around that. Of course, disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional. See the disclaimer in the description box of the video. Um, but we'll take a look here and see what comes up here. I've been feeling short of breath and difficulty sleeping. I feel like is from the eclipses that we had. But I know here it's change of weather, and so my voice probably sounds much lower than usual this morning, and it's because of that. So I don't have any alarms going off, but of course, if you have any concerns, we can seek medical professionals too. All right, so let's take a look here, and that's some guidance on love and future husband. Yeah. Yeah, it's, seasonal. We go through everything and tiredness and stuff too. It's like, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere, we're going into winter and normally because of the less sunlight, we want to nap too. Sleepy, sleepy time. Well, let's take a look here. Yeah. Yeah, as far as health here, we've got balancing of heart and mind and getting some new information here to seeing things got all the seeing things from a higher perspective. So it doesn't hurt if you have concerns just to go and relieve your thoughts, right? Because that's when we connect to the higher realms, we can, what are our fear? What are we fearing? We jump to the when we jump to worst case scenario, it's like fear kicks in. And what does fear do? What does fight or flight do? It puts us into a state of unhealth because our bodies will shut down our immune system. It shuts down our digestive system. All this stuff, it floods our body with adrenaline and all this stuff. because it wants us to, you know, get to safety, right? So, when you're looking at, especially difficulty sleeping, uh, yeah, that you can look at, what am I fearing? And the balance coming in here, balancing the heart and the mind, and stepping away and trying to get a picture from, what is the fear? What am I fearing? What's at the root of this fear? Not trying to ignite it and go into the fear, but from a calm place, look and go, journaling, and just going, what am I afraid of, and what's at the root of that, right? That does transform things and allows things to come in. Because, I mean, you got the magician card, which does talk about, empowerment of yourself, and, here's your higher self, and you're this conduit bringing this beautiful gift into the world in your own true, authentic way. And this is like this freedom from trying to fit in to the cookie cutter of whatever these thoughts and these beliefs are, which, we all have those with, who are you supposed to be? What are you supposed to do? Blah, blah, blah. And I know when I still get anxious. I mean, people sometimes will ask me, when's the last time you've been ever scared? And I'm like, this morning. I'm like, I'm human. I have concerns that come up, and when it comes up, I I don't react like I used to, because instead of going into fight or flight mode, as soon as I sense it rising, that is much louder than before, when I used to be in fear all the time. Silence was the odd feeling. Now silence and peace is my norm, and when fears start to rise up, I start hearing it coming down the street. It's like sitting outside on a porch and it's all quiet outside, and you hear someone music blaring coming down the road. I hear it way far away. Whereas if I have headset on with loud music, I don't hear loud stuff coming. It's like, oh, there it is. So, we just look at our fears, we just understand where they came from, and then we release those. So I like that coming in here, for you there, being true to the authentic you, that you don't have to fit in. And then let's also look here at, a focus on love and future husband here. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, okay. So you do, here's the 8 of swords. I love this because here's all those fears that make us feel limited and small and trapped and blinded and bound and restricted. And the 8 of swords does show that you are questioning these things, you're releasing these things, and you're moving past these things. So as these fears bubble up, they come up for you to release. And, you definitely have love that's coming your way here. It's a higher love, being the Page of Cups. You've got new opportunities coming up and new ways of thinking. So you are in this process and of releasing, because this Ace of Swords, again, with what we were talking about before, connects you to the capital T truths of the higher realm that allows you to cut away, these small T truths. And before you realize it, you're like, you release these bounds, and then you're able to take off what's blinding you, and you realize, oh, I'm not trapped, I can walk right out of here. And so there is this transformation of feeling caged and trapped and restricted, and this freedom that comes in, because part of what comes with the Ace of Pentacles is a new way of looking at your worth in relationship to the outside world, which, as we connect to the higher love, as we connect to the higher realms, and we see this higher perspective. And I mean, you got a lot of the higher, seeing things from a higher perspective cards coming in here, with these three cards that came in already, which is, you know, we we instead of defining ourselves by what happens in the outside world, we get the solid foundation of our worth based on eternal unconditional love, which is what we are, but also what we have. And when we have that to be our foundation, the things of the outside world start falling away in importance. Not that we don't want them, but they don't define us, so they become extra, and there is this change that happens in here, and I feel like that's part of this balancing of the heart and the mind that came in with this, King of Cups, because you do step into this place. This Ace of Cups is the chalice, it's the Holy Grail. And we basically become filled with the love from above, fill up, and it overflows out to the world. So, when we're looking at love, the future husband, all those things, when we're taught that this husband, this relationship, these things are supposed to fulfill us and define us and make us reinforce our lovability and acceptability and blah blah blah, but that's all a lie. It's all a crack a poop cock doo doo, because that's what we're taught. Look out here. And then we find someone, we get married, and then they leave us or they pass away. And then we're like, now what? And they're like, you know, when we have a belief that I'm a half of a person and someone else is a half of a person and together we make a whole, what a limiting belief that is, right? That definitely is one of the 8 of swords that we're like, we feel this way, and I need a hero to come complete me and rescue me, and it's like, no, we don't. We are a whole, and someone else is a whole being. Together we multiply, and we're, so much more than two. um and then there's this completeness here, and so, there's so much power that you're experiencing, and the fears that we have are bubbling up to look at them on purpose, which is what ends up setting us free, because if they don't make themselves known to us and we don't become conscious of them, they just continue running below the surface on autopilot, and we're freaking out all the time about, I'm never going to find love, I'm never going to be someone, I'm never going to be enough, blah 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 blah, right? And we all get that. it's it's the most popular human roller coaster ride that brings us here, is what might it feel like to feel less than and not good enough and rejected and betrayed. We eat all that. It's the cotton candy and this giant amusement park of fear rides we come here to experience. But there is this freedom that's coming into your life right now, and your body is reflecting your emotions that are bubbling below the surface. And the more we look at those, then the more we are set free with all that too. So hopefully that helps. It's moi. It's coming to this wonderful place of the outside chaotic storm of the outside world is just a dream. It's not real. What we find inward and upward is what is real and eternal. And there's a peace that comes with all of that. So, and if you're looking, I have my U times two video series on my main page, which is all about getting to know the two of us that are living this human experience. So if you're looking for something, those are all free, and I think there's like 40 videos, but they're not like anywhere between 10, 15, 20 minutes or so on most of them. So if you want to check those out, those are all available as well. So hang in there, and you're definitely not on an experience that's, that not everyone else is going through. We're all going through it all. So, you know, you're not alone. So, there you go. All right. And again, thank you so much for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. And then Love1234, thank you for your donation over here on PayPal. And I am doing well. I hope you are doing well. And thank you for your, see, you have 3 questions here. So let's take a look here. All right, so let's take a look here. So number 1, oh, right, cards are flying out here. So that is question number 1. Okay. And then number 2. You may be annoying. What? No. You're so funny. So you just want to know if it's coming by the end of January. And then All right, and then number 3, Pachoo, Yoshi. Let's take a look here. All right. So, as far as like being a creative director, this is what was below the surface here. And we've got, the Ace of Wands, which is helping spawn passion. Lover's card is, a partnership, an important partnership, and bringing joy and celebration and balance and of the energies. And so there is this, creativity that comes in with this passion. And I feel like part of what you do is you help them here because these are the two cards that came out from the top of the deck or throughout the deck. You got the Queen of Cups and you've got the Four of Cups. And here is again offering in passion and offering new emotion into things. And the Queen of Cups is very empathic and trusting. And so, yeah, it does look like, yeah, that would be a yes. Trying to do it in a creative way. I'm trying to be a creative director with you. But there is this, you're giving them passion, like helping them see passion, but you're also helping them get in tune with their emotion. And there's like, this, they're showing me like the voice when they have coaches and when they're listening to the song and they're like, okay, so that's good, technically with you're hitting all the chords, but I'm not feeling it from your heart. And so, what does this song mean to you? And they ask questions that just transform the song because they're like, do you have a memory of blah blah blah? And the person starts crying, and then when they sing, you're just like the hair stands up on your arms. Whereas before it was like, that's pretty, but now you're like, oh my gosh. I feel like you help people, you help them that in that way too. So I like that. And then number two, let's take a look here. What is this? This is okay. You have the King of Swords, who's the rules over communication, and the Page of Wands this is the passion, the new beginning, the new things here. So with this, I feel like there is the possibility that you do see it coming by the end, but it has to do here too about where you're investing your energy. And I like this, when we have, we talk about fear, right? When we focus on what we feel is missing and we start focusing in on what's not there, what we fear, what we hate, blah blah blah. We feed those things, right? And so it's like I feel like there this year, and they bring this up when we ask about timing with you, is like this has been a year of trust, of developing trust on timing, which is all of the human experience, right? But this has been like your master's class on trust and timing and patience and um, knowing that what's meant for you will never pass you by. And I feel like there's this trusting relationship you've been building. Like if you compared to where you were at the beginning of this year, you'd be like, wow, look where I am at now. If I was in this same situation back in January, I'd be freaking out, And now I feel like, yeah, you've been working on being more patient and this, but the thing is trust is what is being built. And it's the belief, because this King of Swords is focusing on the belief that I'm worthy of things, but that I can trust you, that you are on my side and that the universe is kind, the creator is kind, they're not a punisher, and that, oh, maybe I've done something wrong and they're gonna withhold it from me. They're gonna take away my toys, right? Um, no, not to you don't have to stop asking about it. I just feel like it's a great reminder, that you can trust the creator, you can trust them and um and you can always ask because they will continually remind you, I think, do you trust me? you know? But I know for me, whenever I started having anxiety around time over in the last 5 or 6 years, I learned so much about trust, and I would hear in my spirit, not audibly, at least not yet. They were like, whenever I started to get anxious, they were like, "Do you trust me?" And I would pause and really think, "Do I trust you?" And it takes time for us because we're taught to mistrust humans because they let us down over and over and over and over again because it's a human character, it's part of the plan. But when we realize you I can trust, and then you start, trusting a little more, a little more, a little more, and then you realize, you know what? You have never let me down. Everyone else has, but you are the only one that can be trustworthy. People ask me sometimes in readings, "Can I trust so and so?" No, you can't trust that human. No, the moment they go into fear, they're going to go into survival mode, and they're not going to care about you. They're like, "What?" I'm like, "It's human." But you can always trust creator and spirit. So, you can work on that and then realize you don't need to trust humans because you're in very good hands, right? So, I like that message for you, and ask it as many times as you want because that's us working through it. And trust me, we all need to hear things over and over and over again to transform and uncondition what we've been taught through our own experiences in the human world. So, I like that. And then number 3, oh, yeah, look at all this 999 stuff. So, the I'm gonna call it the Yoshi. The Yoshi message is always, "I've got fears and I'm working on them." And I like this. You got 2 nines, so we've got the hermit's journey twice, them looking through and developing their own self-worth and looking at their own fears and, all of those things. And they're the star card is wish come true. They're figuring out what their wish is, and they're learning to connect higher and higher in their journey here. But they are, this Aquarius energy of hope and dreams come true and wish upon a star. They're in their process of figuring it out, and it's not they don't have it figured out. And I like that because I feel like they're like, I don't have to figure out my entire life in this moment. And this nines are that they're turning inward, looking in at things in their life and trying to understand what it is that they fear, what it is that they truly want. Um, you know, when you get like walking along a beach and you find a little genie lamp and you're like, uh, you rub it and it's a mini genie. It's only one wish, not a full genie with 3 wishes. It's just a mini genie. And you rub the lamp and they come out and then you're like, all right, what's your one wish? You're like, oh wow, one wish. You can't wish for more wishes. It's like, what is the one thing that I would want? And that's what I feel like they're figuring out here. And what they want you to know. Um, because and I know it feels weird when we realize that human characters we all experience in our lives are only thinking of themselves. Our humans only do. It's survival. It's always comparison. When we're in the human side and we're not connected to this higher being and realizing who we really are and connected to unconditional love, and we see the world completely different. When we're in our human side, it's all about when I'm thinking about anyone else, the human is like, how do I compare? Where do I fit in? Am I acceptable? Am I lovable? It's all about me. Me is the human. It's the experience because we don't have that on the other side. It's we, we all the way home, but it's we, not me. And that's the W. It flips down when we come down here, becomes an M. It's me versus we, and it's nothing wrong with it, but we just when we realize it, we stop trying to, what do they think about me? And it's like, well, they're the only reason they're thinking about me is because they're wondering who they are. It's like when we start expanding more, even love, it's an exchange. It's like, I'm going to give you my love, but what do I get back? It's always like an exchange when it's the human. Is it worth it? It's the cost benefit analysis that it goes through. Is this what I want? Am I going to, it's out of fear, it's out of definition and all of that. And so when we're asking, what do they want me to know? It's like, well, I want you to know that I'm focused on me and trying to figure out what I want in my world. And you're a part of that, but the focus is on me, right? And really when we ask about what do they think of me, we're not asking for their sake, we're asking for our sake too. And so we know that, and it's nothing wrong with it, we're all human. That's why we ask these readings. We're wanting to understand our human journey and understand the fears we have. And our inner child is always like, what's happening around the corner? When it wants to know the future, it's like it feels unsafe. It feels out of control. It just wants to know. It wants to know, is there anything weird coming that I need to be aware of? Because that's the focus of our human side. And we're gonna have that as long, and this is for everybody, of course, love 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why I feel like they're going into it more, because we do. It's part of our human journey, you know. It's like going to amusement park and go, "Don't ride any of the rides." It's like, "Why am I here? For the snacks?" No, I'm here to experience, and we will continually until we withdraw and we're back on the other side, and we have all the experiences that we talk about and show everyone and share with everyone. And that's why more people want to come down here. They're like, "Oh my god, that sounds amazing, let's go." So hopefully that helps with all of that. But that's what they have for you, love 1, 2, 3, 4. So you know that's what they have. So hopefully that helps. But again, thank you for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. And I don't think I have any others here. All right. So I don't have any other there. You are very welcome. And so I think that is everything. We're gonna scroll. Oh, actually, no, I have Supernova. Thank you for your additional donation. Give that some love there. You're all last question. You can ask as many questions as you want, of course. Uh, and you want to know, what is the physical, energetic, or spiritual reason behind you waking up tired all the time, even with adequate sleep? I hear you. So, of course, disclaimer on medical. I'm not a medical professional. So, of course, see the disclaimer in the description box of the video. Um, but let's take a look here and see what the spirit wants you to know here. All right. All right. Yeah. I figured it was here. I mean, you're going through a great amount of, transformation that's going on here, right? And whenever we're going through a rebirth, there is a lot of energy that's happening here. And you've got the 10 of Wands, which is the burden, and here's the, King of Wands. When we're stepping into our power and we're using our energy, and especially if it's been like lately, we've been in this very intense eclipse season, which shakes up things, and we've been dreaming like crazy. We've been doing a lot of work subconsciously in our minds and dreaming, and it can be like you feel like you've worked a full-time job while you've been sleeping, and you wake up and you're just like, wow. And it's so there's a lot of energetic, especially when you're going through energetic upgrades within you too, stepping into your power and moving up. Like the king is a promotion, right? And so there is this movement that's happening here energetically. Oh my gosh. So you had the king, and then you also have another king. And you've got the King of Swords and the movement of thought and belief and mindset, a lot of release, a lot of transformation that happens in there. And so, yeah, definitely a lot of energetic upgrades and um, a lot of thinking, a lot of transformation, a lot of release comes in here. And the more that you're facing your fears, it feels like work sometimes, right? But I do feel like it's a rebirth that's happening, and when I got this death card, which is death and rebirth, you're not dying. Well, we're all dying. This human only lasts for so long. We're all, as soon as we're born, we're headed towards death. I know what a morbid way to look at it, but it's true. You know, soon as we have the birth date, there's the dash we're living, and there's a death date that we're moving closer to. Always, every moment. Oh my gosh, don't freak out. But we do get dark humor. Me, no, yeah, I have a wide sense of humor. It's because my dad was a Sagittarius. He's got a very extreme sense of humor too. Um, but there is, it's a lot of energy and mind, with these two, and I mean all of this really, because when you combine these two together, you've got a lot of burden, a lot of energy that's transforming, and movement of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, and all of these represent for me just an upgrade, definitely coming in here with all these kings moving up in position, and the death card here. So it's funny when I was the death card, a lot of people get it and it was like but when I was um teaching, um this small group of friends of mine how to do tarot, and I we had a safe space for everyone, to do readings, and they all took turns, and and it was funny because one of them, she was not as serious as the other two wanting to learn, and she was like, "Oh, the death card. I'm gonna get the death card." And I tell you what, this tells you the sense of humor, the dark sense of humor, and the fun sense of humor that the universe and creator have, because in every single reading, no matter if it was me pulling cards or them pulling cards, she did get the death card every single reading, and I swear we did like 6 or 7 of them, even to the point where to close out the session, I was pulling 1 card, from the deck, and just giving them 1 final card for the ending of the session, and she got the death card. 1 card, and we were laughing so hard we were crying, and we knew it wasn't death, but it was just spirit going, "Oh, yeah? I'm listening, I'm paying attention," and it was funny. So just a nice little side note, with the sense of humor of the universe too. So I like it. All right, so that is what we have for you, Supernova, and I like that. So nothing to worry about, I don't feel here, just allow yourself the rest, because you are transforming so much. Yeah. Me too. It's funny. And my host, she's also Sagittarius, which which is funny because she also has a wide sense of humor, and we will laugh about things. And I think it's a lot of Sagittarius too, because I've got another my dad, this person, this other person, and my host, all three of them communicate via meme, but the memes that they send to me are so wrong. It's just like, I know I could send this to you because you would find this funny, but a lot of people wouldn't. And I'm like, I get it. So I love it. All right. Yeah, absolutely. I do see that love 1, 2, 3, 4. I see that coming through here. All right. So thank you for your additional donation over on the Cash app. And so, should you join that group? Is it for your highest experience? Well, let's just take a look and see if you do, what outcome does it bring? with based on current energies. Oh, so they do want that one, and they do want this one. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I feel you. I've been waking up exhausted too. So, and that's why I feel like there's something going on in the planetary energies, I think, too. All right. Yeah, and I see a couple of people. Welcome any new people coming in and joining the channel. Appreciate you being here. If you check out the description box of the video, it talks about how the whole process works. So you can check that, and we'll leave it there. All right. um, so let's take a look here and see what we've got here. I've got here, I feel like we've got the Eight of Cups, which is leave behind things and move towards something else kind of energy here. Because we've got the moon, which is there's some stuff below the surface that's not known. And also, we've got the full card, which is again moving into it, something new, a new journey, and leaving behind old things and moving to new things. All of this represents all of this here. So I would say no, because it feels like with the Aries energy, there's a new beginning, something new that will come your way here. But I don't feel like it's that. I feel like there's like, the Emperor is about people have recommendations and advice and blah 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 blah. But this is about standing up and making our own decisions and um, letting all the advice kind of step away and then deciding for ourselves. And so there's like this, I feel like this is advice. I feel like this is like, well, this is what we're supposed to do, right? This is what we're doing. It's like, no, this is like, um this group. Well, we asked specifically about this group, and I feel like there's new information that'll be coming, for you here. Yeah, he's got the Six of Cups. When we're talking about investing in general, something to do with childhood here. Oh, yeah, and on the that's subconscious, and it's this belief in lack, right? And um, I feel like I don't know. I feel like they're kind of just saying wait on investment right now, and maybe of course, I'm not a financial guru. Um, of course, disclaimer. But I just feel like they're just going, just hold off on investing right now. And yeah, yeah. So yeah, so you're feeling that too of that. I don't know about this. Wait a little bit longer, right? Yeah, I feel like there is going to be some conflict. We got the Five of Wands, so I kind of feel like the market will be volatile a little bit here, and then we can revisit it in the future. Yeah. All right. You are very welcome, and thank you for your additional donation. I appreciate that. Let me just check here, make sure there was nothing else. All right. Nope, we are good. All right. So we will scroll to the top. So we had been doing all of the donations, and so now I'm going to head into the free readings. And if anyone wants to prioritize theirs, you can make a donation, and then you'll be moved to the top. Otherwise, we'll start at the very beginning here and make our way down. And I'll be on for about another 50 minutes, 50 minutes, almost an hour. And so we'll try to get through as many free readings as we can. So, a happy pill, you are up first for the first free reading, and you'd like a new year reading. So, what does Spirit want you to know about your new year? Let's see what else. All right. Well, it is going to be evidently a year of balancing. We've got both, it's almost like a mirror image, but you've got Temperance and you've got the Two of Pentacles. So there is this flow, this ebb and flow that happens next year. And a lot of it has to do here with the Nine of Pentacles, which does talk about, this uh, hermit's journey, with it being the number nine, which is the hermit card in the major arcana. It is this inner journey. You've got spirit with you here, and you've also got the little snail. Let me see if I can get it to focus. See the little snail down here? They're often overlooked down here, which is it takes time, right? Which temperance is things go back and forth, and it takes time for things to flow next year, for this fullness of your worth to feel full. But it's and I feel like the reason why it takes time is because we're letting go of old ways of defining what success means, what fullness means, all of that, right? And what abundance means. And I feel like it's because you're with this hermit's journey with spirit, you're really connecting next year your worth inward and upward to something that's eternal and unconditional. And you're letting go a lot of the definitions that you've been inundated with in your life about what all of that means. And so it's transformative, The example, like for me, what happened in my life is, I was working a full time job, making good money, but I had an apartment that, took like half of my money, as most apartments and stuff do these days, and car, I had my truck and I had insurance and this and that and this and that. And all this money was coming in, but all this money was going out to all this stuff, right? That we're taught we're supposed to have all this stuff. But then COVID hit and I had this tiredness, this feeling of existing, just to try to check off all these boxes, excuse me, with all that stuff. And I'm like, no, I just can't do this anymore. I just don't feel like living. I don't feel like I'm living. I feel like I'm existing. And then just things started to unfold and I started to release things. Like, I'm like, well, I really don't need as big of an apartment as I had. Just I happened to end up in it for another long story. And I'm like, well, when I started looking at pricing around the area, the smaller ones had gone up in price and were going to be the same. And then I found out my apartment was going to be raised in price. And I'm like, I can't live in this area anymore. It's too expensive. And then I got a call from a friend saying, "Why don't you come? I just bought a house. Come be my roommate for a while." And I was going to only pay like half as much as I was up there. And then I thought, I don't need a car. I don't need a vehicle anymore, because I was going to have to transport it. And, I'm going to have to load it on the back and, you know, or make two trips and blah, blah. And it was just, what you've been wanting to get rid of your vehicle because you'd hardly drive it anywhere, and it's all this expense, and so I let that go. And we just start to let stuff go, and our abundance changes our idea of what it all means. And I feel like next year is this release of a lot of things and this alignment, and you just feel more abundant than you ever had with less, because you're doing so much more with your life than you were before. And that's what I feel next year brings for you. Happy pill. So exciting. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. I'm not saying you have to do all this stuff. That was just an example. You're like, I'm not giving up my car. And I'm like, you don't have to. That was just an example. So there you go. So many, many blessings to you, Happy Pill. And then New Love, you are up next. And you want to know, will you get the bee to the attic? All right, we'll take a look here. Does the B stand for what I think it does? No, I'm just kidding. Am I gonna put them up there? No, I'm just kidding. So let's take a look here. I feel like with all of this, that the Page of Wands and the Ace of Swords, it talks about newness and new ideas and new ways of looking at things, new drive and passion here. The Three of Pentacles does represent being true to your authentic self. Don't know why I was thinking your attic self, but I feel like that you come up with a different idea. It just feels like with this Ace of Swords is new idea, clarity, new passion, new, new, new. and being true to your authentic self, I feel like there's something different that you come up with instead. And yeah, it's less conflicting. This just fell out of the cards. There's less uh, mental struggle between the head and the heart. And I feel like you do something more from the heart instead of from the head. But you do get new higher ideas that come in a new way here. So I don't feel like you end up doing that. You could, but I feel like you come up with a better idea, um, a different situation that arises. So that's what they have for you, new love. Is so many blessings to you. And then we've got magician. Hello, hello, magician. Anyone messages from your higher self? Let's see what they have here. Messages from yourself, the magician. You can't, I love it. So you got the magician card, and the Queen of Wands, who is in a way the divine counterpart to the magician, because the wand energy is definitely here. The power that's coming in here. The magician card talk excuse me as my voice goes away, is about expressing yourself as I'm trying to do through my voice. But here's your higher self with that infinity symbol, and it's becoming a conduit. You draw in the energy of above, brings through your body, and you can see how they point down to the ground. You are this conduit of this energy, of this passion, this high heart energy that allows it to flow through you and out to the world. And the Queen of Wands is basically telling you that you have the connection with spirit. You have this ability. The black cat also is the cups, emotional energy of intuition and instinct. And um, you have this ability here with both of these to really step forward. The the Queen of Wands is less of a divine feminine energy and more of action, passion, expression, instead of like the high priestess is kind of like a chalice. She looks to receive from spirit, but both of these have this energy of action, stepping forward, living your passion, living your dream, wanting to move forward. Sorry, slipping off my chair here. I'm on the edge of my seat, excited to what you're about to do, magician. But that's what I feel is the message from your spirit self, is now is the time. If you've been waiting for things, the waiting is over. It's time for you to take a step. If it's just one step towards your dream, if it's one step towards what you're wanting to bring into this world, whether it's you know, making an outline, putting the statement of what you're wanting, and doing the planning stage. What's the next step? What's the very next step? Don't worry about the 1,000 steps. What's the very next step? And take action on that. A little bit, even if it's just a little step every single day. By 30 days, you've made 30 steps, and you look back and like, wow. When we think of 1,000 steps, we get overwhelmed and we're like, I'm exhausted just thinking about it. It's like, just take the very next step. And then what's the very next step? Don't look at 1,000 steps ahead. And this is what spirit wants you to know right now, your higher self. I love that you get the magician. All right. So that is what they have for you. Some many blessings to you. And then Rishi Lahori, you're up next. So I'm just going to take a sip here. Hey, dude. And you want to know what is coming to you career-wise. Let's see, what does spirit want you to know? Career-wise. All right, well, here we go. Wow, you almost got what just came out for magician, but these two cards came flying out. For a career here, it's really about energy. It's really about, what is your dream? What do you want to do with your life? Not the supposed tos, the shoulds, the need tos, the have tos, the musts. There is an opportunity for this new passion to be realized and ignited. The more you look inward and upward and get out of your head and into your heart, your high heart, you realize, how do I uniquely want to share my unconditional love with the world? How do I want to do that? And so that becomes your career. A job is a source of income. You don't live to work, you work to live your dream. And this is what I feel comes in here. Where you invest your energy is important. If we're focusing on what we're missing, what we fear will come in and out of our lives, or focus on what we hate, we expand our energy. And this attitude of gratitude for what is, what you have had, what will come, focusing on joy and laughter, celebration. Again, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude brings in more. But I feel like a big piece of all this is to, what do I want to point my wand at here? What do I want to look at it? And with the page, it is this newness, a new passion, something new that you haven't really thought of before. Feel like there's been a lot of supposed tos and shoulds and need tos, and well, I want to make a lot of money and I want to do this and whatever, whatever. What we're all given, right? All that we're inundated with. But this is different. This is about, yeah, you'll get paid, or you'll have a job that you work in order to start living your dream, and then eventually your dream brings in money where you don't have to worry about that job. But there is this movement forward, and what makes my heart sing? What makes me full of joy? If you don't know that, it's because, like all of us, we've been given dreams all our lives, and we wake up going, "Oh God, I got to go live my dream today." And that's not your dream. If you feel that way, you wake up going, "Oh, I get to go live my dream today." Then that's your dream. And so I feel like there's this clarity coming in. The magician card does tell you have everything you need within you to make your dreams come true, that you don't have to settle. And I like that for you right now. And that's the message I want to focus in for you at this moment. So, and that is what they have for you, Rishi. So many blessings to you. So sorry. All right, just checking here. All right, and Storms of Foya, you're working on a donation. All right, I don't see anything coming through yet, so I'll keep checking. And we'll continue down the free readings until then. So, Dijona Sturgis, hello, hello. So, shout out to one of my YouTube members. Your name appears in green. It stands out. So, you get a special shout out. And I love your little sticker that you get as well, your badge. So, thank you for your donations. You help make the free readings possible. So, thank you for that. And you'd like a general reading. Yeah, we got a little bit of shaking up going on here, some new ways of thinking. Devil card, Saturn, Capricorn energy focuses in on our thoughts and our beliefs and mindsets. The Saturn energy, they shake and they rattle and they make us question some of our long term thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that we've had our entire lives. Page of Swords, here's that Ace of Swords, which connects us to the capital T truths of the higher realm. And it allows us here this awareness of what is true, capital T true, and then also what can be let go of. The shadow energy that we have with the devil card, it's not like, ooh, spooky evil. It's our shadow that purposely wants to bring these things to our face, and they don't do it in subtle ways. They bring it to our face to for us to realize I'm in a cage. And when I realize I'm in a cage, then they're like, wink, wink, there's a door behind you that allows you to escape from it. So they don't do it to make fun of us or to go, ha ha, you're in a cage. They bring it to us so that we can escape from the cage. We can free ourselves from the cage. And that's what's coming in here. A lot of clarity around supposed to, shoulds, and need tos, and have tos, and must in your life. And they're being brought up. And so the spirit just wants you to know, as these things arise, as things trigger, as things become um, present and visible in your life, it's not, to give you a hard time. It's for you. And I like this. And so it is a time of release of more and more of these things that are coming into um, being being known in your life really, in here. And so that's what I feel like is the main message for you is kind of like just a big heads up. Hey, that, yeah, these irritating things. It's like becoming aware of a pebble in your shoe. Ow, ow, ow. And it's instead of it being on the side, it's moved right in there in the middle where you can't not step on it so that you'll take off your shoe, empty out the pebbles so you can walk without pain. So I like that. That's what you want to, they want you to know right now, Daijona. So many blessings to you. All right. All right. And then Blissful Breeze, you are up next. And so you want to know, will you hear back from the remote jobs you've applied to this month about forward movement? All right. So we'll see. Are you going to hear back from them this month about forward movement? So Spirit wants you to know based on Kurt energy. Yeah, you've got the joy card and celebration card here with the Four of Wands. There's just this opportunity with the Seven of Swords to question your thoughts and your beliefs and your mindsets that may have deceived you in the past, that, steal opportunities from you. And what that would mean is that, questioning these fears that are there, that I'm not good enough, or I don't qualify, or why would they want me? And it may not be the conscious words that are in your head. You're like, no, I deserve these, but there's this whispering going on below the surface. And that's what happens when this Seven of Swords comes up, is there's some subconscious beliefs that can be transformed there and let go about worth and worthiness. And just getting down to that, going, why would I feel, even just asking your inner child, why do you feel I wouldn't deserve these? Because it's your inner child that goes, no, we haven't done enough to deserve that yet. Because when your inner child was your emotional inner child, 7 years old and younger, when it was being created, had some experiences where, rejection, abandonment, kind of stuff where we felt, well, I'm not good enough to have that because I didn't get that. They took that away from me. They say I couldn't have that. And so there's these beliefs that we can ask our inner child and go, why don't you think you deserve this? And it'll be like, because of blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, come here. You do deserve this. Come here and let that emotion go. You can flow through that emotion because you are worthy of this and you deserve this. And I'm sorry, that I didn't tell you this earlier. And you just develop this relationship with your inner child, which does help things. But the Seven of Swords means there's some deceptive thoughts you have about yourself, around that. Um, but ultimately, there's joy. So I do feel you do get that, but you hear sooner and things flow easier when we get rid of those things. So that's what's coming in for you, Blissful Breeze. So many blessings to you. Right. We'll continue moving down the list. You're welcome, Dijona. All right. And VD Jalan, hello, hello. You'd like a general reading for the weekend. All right. Let's see what we got here. Wow, look at all of this. You've got two people that are coming in here, and these are divine masculine energy. You've got the King of Cups, who's balancing of heart and mind, and then you've got the King of Swords, who is very much double logic, double mind. So a lot of thinker, thinker, thinker. So I feel like there is this interaction between a couple people that are coming in here, significant, and I feel like these are two individuals. So you have someone who has this capacity of intelligence but balancing emotion. The other one feels like, no offense to engineers, but the stereotypical engineer who is all in the mind and doesn't understand how to express emotion. So you have these two individuals that are coming in here this weekend that are coming across your path. And I feel like, the King of Cups is always this beautiful, wonderful balance between two and, what we're looking for. We want someone who can communicate express their thoughts, is intelligent, and they also are in tune with their emotions and can share that too in a successful way. Very balanced individual. The other is like very, very intelligent and very, can communicate, but not emotion. So it's like a heads up that you have these two individuals. So when you come, I feel like you come across the one that's really, really up here in the mind, and that's stimulating. You're a thinker. You like someone who can really think and who's intelligent, knows knows things, but um, wait for the other one to experience them, and then you get to choose between the two. But I definitely feel like you are introduced to two individuals this weekend. And that's what's coming in, BD. So many blessings to you. That's what they have for you right now. Right. We'll continue moving down the list here. So we did those. All right. Marie Jones. Hello. Hello, Marie. You'd like a reading for next week. Let's see what we've got here. Wow. Two major arcana, and both of them here, you know, the here's our human self, and here's with the infinity symbol, our higher self. And the star card can also represent our higher self. There is this clarity that comes in for you next week, because this is kind of wish come true type of cards, but the dream that our higher self has of wish come true is very different from our human in the beginning. And I feel like there's this balancing, because here's the seven chakras represented by these seven stars. There's this balancing of human and higher self that's coming in here this next week. And I feel like there is this clarity of what is my dream? What do, you know, I want to achieve before I die in this world, right? Not that you're dying anytime soon, but there's like, you know, I talk a lot about when COVID hit, I was at the point of like existing, and it was just like, I want to live my dream. What am I waiting for to live my dream, to die? And I feel like you're at this point of what is my dream? And I've got all this stuff that I think I'm supposed to do that weighs heavy, but this is what I want to do, and how can I free myself? And I feel like next week is like a big kind of aha of I'm going to write down a plan, and I'm going to see how I can get there. And I feel like next week is what is coming in here. I just feel like there's this um I don't know, this that hits a big inspiration on your future and what you're wanting to do. And I feel like it's important to journal it, to get it down, get it into paper, and not worry about what other people think. Here, this is like a stand. The seven of wands is about the sun does not ask permission to shine. It doesn't dim its light for people. It is who it is, and it shines equally upon everyone. And tough, deal with it, everyone. I'm going to be me. And I feel like this is the kind of energy that's coming in for you next week. And I like that for you, Marie. Right. And that's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. And then Grace 1111, you want like a general reading. What does Spirit want you to know right now? Right. Just gonna shuffle these real quick. All right. Anything else? No, you've got the one card being the Three of Pentacles, which is all about being true to the authentic you and allow your creativity to come forward. This is you creating something beautiful, and you've got two people. You've got the naysayer and the supporter, and this is the praiser and the punisher that we are all given, right? And becoming aware, when we're afraid to live our dream and be our authentic self and be true to ourselves, a small piece of it, which we realize, oh, we're afraid of these people that are going to blah 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 and whatever. And these are the naysayers, the people that always poke, try to burst your bubble and don't have anything nice to say and are supportive. They always find what's going wrong with stuff, and you're like, you know what, you already know them, they're very obvious. You put them outside. You're like, I don't need to hear that. But the one that can really take you off of your path without us realizing it is the praiser, the supporter, the people that are like, "I'm so proud of you. You're doing so well, and I'm excited to see what you do," and da 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 da. And we're like, "Yay!" But they all say something, and they don't mean it. They're not like the naysayer where they say things to try to destroy, to make themselves feel better, to bring you down to their level. The supporter and the praiser will say something like, "That's really great. I love what you're doing. Have you ever thought of doing it this way? Just, an idea. You don't have to do anything with it." But inside, we're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to." That little child doesn't want to lose the praise and support. It wants praise. It doesn't want them to join the naysayers and the punisher. So we will alter our course to do things. And this message of the card comes in of be aware of the influence that these outside individuals have on, our fear of punishment or losing praise, and stay true to your authentic self. Step forward, make decisions based on what's true for you, not what's true for everyone else, because it's like sitting around a giant table at a restaurant. Everyone's looking at the same menu, and people are telling you, "Hey, you should try this, you should try that, you should try that." And I love, if it's an appetizer that we're all going to try, then absolutely let's take everyone's opinion, because we're all going to eat of that. But if it's my meal and no one's going to eat it, if I'm going to eat it, I get to choose. And this is what they're saying here is you have to eat your life. So choose the life you want, not the life that everyone else thinks you should be living. And I like that for you. All right. And that's what they have for you, Grace 1111. So many blessings to you. And then Cutie, you are up next and you'd like a love reading. So let's take a look here and see. What does Spirit want you to know about love, love, love? All right. Well, you do have new passion headed your way here, which does lead to love, but you definitely have a new passion, someone you don't know that's coming into your life. The king of, or the emperor, who's the king of all kings, the ruler of all the kings, Aries energy, new beginnings, new start, that's coming in here. And so definitely a lot of fire, a lot of passion that comes in first. And of course, that's how most love happens. It's not, love at first sight is hardly, unless it's a past life connection that is ignited, but it's passion at first sight that leads to love, right? And that's what I feel here. The emperor tells us that, they learn to stand up for themselves. They learn to stand up and say, "You know what? We've got this all these advisors telling us the should, supposed to, need to, blah, blah, blah." And they're all telling you about love because your reading's about love. And so all these people are telling you who someone should be, how love is supposed to unfold, how you're supposed to meet, where it's supposed to go, who you're supposed to be, blah, blah, blah. All these opinions, right? Blah, blah, blah. And at some point, it's like, "All right, everybody, thank you. You can step out of the throne room. I'm going to make the decision for my life." And I feel like this is what comes in here is stepping outside of the bounds, stepping outside of what is the norm, because when we have too much of restrictions, we limit who we can meet and what can come into our lives. But instead, we just open it up and go, "All right, Creator, you know what I want, but you can bring the who and the when and the how, and I trust you." And I love this opening up regarding love in your life. It's like, and while I'm waiting for them to come, I'm going to turn inward and upward and grow my self love, because that expands my ability to give and receive love to humans. It's a win 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 win. Otherwise, it's limited and smaller, and we don't get to feel as much love coming in from humans, or be able to express and send that love out. So that's what they have for you right now, cuties. So many blessings to you. We'll continue moving down the list here. I'm going to be on for about 20 more minutes, and then I'm heading off to my praying mantis session. And depending on how many free readings we have left, I might come back later or I might not. So we'll see how many we get through here. But I will be back this evening at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And then tomorrow morning, again at 11 a.m. Mountain Time as well. I always have a free session with my praying mantis members after each one as well. So if you're interested in becoming a praying mantis member, all that information is listed in the description box below. So there we go. All right. Up next, we got angel blessings here, and you'd like messages from your higher self. And I do see here we've got, this nine of wands here and the seven of swords. This combo together does show that there are some, you might be feeling like some energetic blocks that are keeping you from moving forward in some stuff. And the seven of swords is telling us that it is our own limiting and restrictive, deceiving thoughts and beliefs and mindsets about ourselves that are keeping us from moving past there. Because you definitely have the power, like this is behind the nine of wands back here, showing that you are mighty powerful here. One of these wands, which he's holding in his hands, is part of the barrier here. We don't realize it until we step back into our power and take our power back. Whatever these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that are limiting, that have cheated you out of things in the past, that's why, because we have this limiting belief about our energy, and we will sometimes, and we're all taught this, we're taught to focus in on what we feel is missing in our life, or we fear what will come in or leave our life, or focus on what you hate in your life, and we're taught this, but we're these powerful magicians that whatever we focus on grows and expands. And so if I focus on what I'm missing, I'm telling the universe, I want to miss things more. I really enjoy it. Can you give me more things to miss? And like, oh, order up. Or focus on things we hate. I'm like, I tell the universe, I really enjoy hating things. Can you bring me more things to hate? Oh, absolutely. Or we fear things will come in or out of our life and we repel it or attract it. But what happens here is when we begin to change our focus on our belief system here, and we're, taught, these are like the teachings of focusing on those old things, but we start focusing on gratitude, focusing on unconditional love and joy and celebration and all of that. It grows and expands. Those things instead. It's like a little kid who walks into a donut shop and the glass case with all the donuts. If I'm pointing as a little child at a donut, and the baker loads up a dozen, gives them to me. I'm like, those are the ones I hate. Why are you giving those to me? And they're like, that's what you were pointing at. So the baker goes, how this works, and this is how this physical realm works. Point at what you love, and I'll give you dozens of that instead. And I feel like this is what your higher self is letting you know, that you have the ability to take hold of this, and this magic wand, and where you're focusing your energy. And when you do that, it opens up a space for you to step through whatever block this has been. It allows you to move past it. It allows you to move into this new area of your life that you've been felt like you've been kept away from. So I like that for you, angel blessings, and that's what they have for you right now. So many, many blessings to you. All right. All right. So we'll leave off with links leave for a moment here. I do have a donation coming in. Thank you so much, EE, for your donation. I give that some love there, because it lets me. And then you want to know, will you stay at your current job? Let's take a look here and see, based on current energies, what spirit wants you to know about your current job. All right, well, let's take a look here. Okay, that one, and that one, and then that one. All right. Wow. Yeah, I see that you kind of been at this place here. I don't feel like you're going to be there for much longer. You had the Knight of Pentacles, which is the slowest moving knight of them all, and I feel like there's been some stuff building and building and building and building over time here. But the Three of Wands is about changing direction because of new information you get. I almost feel like you've been with this King of Pentacles. It's like the promise of the coin. Like, oh, we can't do that yet. Or if you do this and this, then you'll get that. And I feel like it's been, like the carrot, the proverbial carrot that's been going there. And it's like, you're not able to get this, they don't give you the reward, and you're just like, and they keep on going, "Oh, because of this has delayed it, but we'll be able to do that in 6 months." And then 6 months, "Oh, sorry, something came up." And I just feel like you've been almost lured to stay, to stay, to stay, but I feel like this is changing. And here you have the 2 of swords, which is the crossroads that you're coming to. Am I gonna stay and continue? Am I gonna believe him this time? Or am I ready to head off into something else? And you got the 4 of Pentacles, and you've got the Empress. Solid foundation in the outside world. Empress is new beginnings, new birth, mother nature, mother nurture. And it's like, the choices we have are, do I want to just, well, this is the job I have. Do I want to stay into it? Or I'm ready to put myself first, nurture myself, have this new birth. And it does bring a new harvest in all of this. So I don't feel like you will stay at your current job. I feel like they have, um, that carrot they've been dangling is all moldy and dried out and has flies around it. It's like it's been out there for so long and you haven't given it to me that it's not appetizing anymore, and I feel like you do head off into something that's more for you, and I know it feels scary, but it's like you don't have to worry. That Empress energy is abundance and birthing and a lot of abundance. And so I feel like you get, start looking, follow your heart though, not the mind of like, well, this is what I've always done. Don't limit your search. Allow yourself to have this free expression, and the 3 is a number of creativity, the Empress too. So be creative in what you're wanting to do, because I feel like there's some great things that are coming your way with that. So that's what's coming in, EE. I like that for you. So definitely, um, look outside the box into something different. Yeah, and you even got the sun. I feel like you'll find a job that almost feels like you're playing. You're like, "I love it, and I get paid for this too," but it feels, so refreshing and so new. I like it too. You like, "Man, I'm growing out my hair." You can't hardly see it. So it's at that stage where it's, you know so eventually, and I won't, yeah, I'll probably wear my hat even when I grow my hair, because then I don't have to do my hair. You know how it is. So thank you, EE. All right, so that's what we have for you. So many blessings to you. I'm excited to see what this job is that's coming your way. All right. And then Courtney, thank you so much for your donation. Let me give that some love too. And so you want to know here if M's apology was genuine. You don't feel like it was. Humans, do we really apologize? We're mainly sorry that it caused a ruckus and that I have to put up with emotions, right? But let's take a look here. Or I'm sorry I was caught. But let's take a look. What does spirit want you to know here, Courtney? We got one, two, three. So first card. All right. you know, the first card that comes out here, Page of Wands, which, you know, like I was saying, usually apologies are I'll apologize if it's worth it, right? Like, what am I going to get out of it? And I feel like with this passion, with this apology, they feel like, okay, well, this is okay. This will bring me something. And so I feel like, as far as humans go, it was genuine-ish. Like, they're like, "Well, I didn't wanna cause all this ruckus, because 1, fire energies, I didn't wanna cause an explosion, but, whether it's, causing someone to feel pain or whatever." But I feel like they're just like, "Man," because and this is what I feel like they go back and forth, and here's the disappointment and then the benefit. And I feel like they do a cost benefit analysis, right? They're like, "Is it worth it?" And I feel like their human side felt it was worth it in the long run, but they didn't want this to happen. but overall, I don't think, with this Wheel of Fortune that they would, you know, it's like "I'm sorry, but I'd still do it again," you know? And it's like, "I'm sorry it upset you," and that is true. That's the genuine side, is that they're sorry that there was disappointment or emotion from it, because it got all this 7 of, um, cups here, which are all this emotion. They were like, "Well, I didn't think that was gonna be the one that was gonna be felt, because I was focused on what I would get here." And so, you know I think you're picking up what I'm putting down here. It's like they genuinely didn't want you to experience the emotions you did, but they would still they still like the emotions that they experienced in it all. And we've got the 8 of Cups, which is all about leaving behind the emotions that no longer serve, and we head off. And I feel like this is spirits just it's not really advice. It's more awareness. They're like, "Hey, we just want to give you a heads up that, this helps you be able to learn to leave behind emotions that don't serve you and head in a direction that's for you." Because that's what happens with this 8 of Cups. And the Queen of Wands allows you to stand in your authority and your power, trusting your instinct. And like you're saying, I don't feel like it was trust your not your fears, but trust your intuition and that gut, connection with spirit too. And if you're unsure sometimes too, like you're doing now, you ask for clarity from spirit, and sometimes in the moment you can even develop this relationship with spirit, because that Queen of Wands super connected spiritually with the wands energy, and all the queens get a second portion of cups, which definitely is also spiritual, psychic connection to spirit energy, that you can be like, can you clarify this for me and show me this? And they're around you, they'll do that. There was this one time, with my first relationship. um, I was cleaning out a junk room, and there was this briefcase that was locked, and I was just like, and spirit was like, "Yeah, you need to know what's in there. It's good awareness." And I'm like, "Really?" I go, "But it's locked." And they're like, "Well, they're gonna be coming home for lunch." Anyway, I was on my day off, and so I just set it to the side, continued to clean, and they came down, they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just cleaning out this junk room. I can't even walk in it, so I'm organizing it." And I go, "Hey, this briefcase, I was thinking," I was being all sly, right? I was like, "This briefcase, I'm thinking of, like, instead of having a satchel where it bends all of my folders, that I was gonna try a briefcase and see how I feel about it. Can I, like, try this one and see?" And they're like, "Oh, why don't you just get a new one?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't wanna get a new one, if I don't like it, why spend the money?" I go, if I can just take out the stuff in here and then just try it, then maybe I'll get a new one." And they were like, "Oh, you should da 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 da," and I go, "Well, why don't you just unlock it and let me try it?" And they're like, "Why are you being so blah blah blah?" And then they got angry and they left. And I'm like, this is weird. Why are you acting so secretive about what's in this briefcase?" So I sat the briefcase down and I was asking, this is all about connection to spirit, right? I'm gonna go, you guys are always around. Do you know what it was like, one of those little 3 number combo locks on the briefcase? And I'm like, "You know what these numbers are, so you can tell me if you really want me to sing here." 3 numbers popped into my head, and it was 007. I mean, you guys don't know who they are, so I can say that. And I'm like, "Really? 007? Secret?" And I'm like, "Whatever." And I did it, and when those locks popped, I almost pooped my own pants. I was like, "What?" And so it was very interesting. I feel like if you ask spirit, and develop it, that's part of this journey, and what they want you to know as well, that they will give you information and they help you on your path, because they're your secret agents. And they'll bring to you what you need to know and bring clarity for your path too. So I like this. So was their apology genuine? Yeah, a little bit, right? With this, they didn't want you to be hurt. That's the genuine part. Um, and I feel like you're sensing that, oh, you would still do it again. You're just sorry that it impacted me, which is cute, but not what you were totally wanting, I'm sure. So that is what they have for you, Courtney. And I feel like it's okay to, okay, I'll accept your apology, but I'm not, I'm not going to invest energy and I'm going to move forward and head my direction for me. And I like that for you. So fun, fun, fun times. And that's what they have for you. So again, thank you for your donation. I really appreciate that. Then I've only got like 4 more minutes before I head off. So I will at least get to be able to get to Links Lee here. You are up next, and you'd like a December month for you. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know about your December month. Wow, we just put that back in, and here's more. You got a very fiery December, but there is this realizing in December where you investing all of your energy. The 10 of wands is like all this burden, so many different areas that you're expending energy in your life, emotionally, mentally, energetically, as far as like intention and physically, so much stuff. And it's like this queen of wands is coming in here going, all right, I'm going to take control here. I'm evaluating where I'm investing all of my energy, what is truly important. Sometimes urgent things that are urgent aren't important, and I do feel like there's this clarity, this cutting away of where you're investing all of your energy and where everything is being given, and you're cutting some things away. December is a month of decluttering your life, mental. Where am I focusing on my mind, my mental energy? Let me simplify. Where's all this emotional energy I'm investing? Let me cut some things out. Let me transform some things. These charged emotions, let me transform these so energy is not invested in maintaining them anymore. What am I putting my energy into? What's my focus? Where am I putting all my physical energy? And is it, you know, can I delegate? Can I stop doing some things? And I like this for you. So December is a month of, I feel like, relief, just like a huge decluttering of so much energy for you, and it's preparing you for your next year. And I just feel like you're just seeing and evaluating what has brought you benefit and what hasn't. What relationships are you investing a lot of energy in that hardly and they give anything back, and you're realizing this is like a really one-sided friendship, this is a one-sided relationship with this family member or whatever, and you're reducing the amount of energy you're investing in those things too. And then you have all that energy that comes in for you instead to head towards your dreams and go those areas as well. So that is what they have for you, Linksley. All right. Well, I'm going to be headed off here to go to my praying mantis session, and I think I've got enough here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take some screenshots here. And so after I go to my praying mantis session, and then after I eat, I will most likely come back on here because I do have quite a few of you that I haven't been able to get to yet. So I will return back. And if you, of course, if you put anything in the chat, you of course have to be a subscriber. So if you check your notification settings and just um, make sure they're set to all, then you'll be notified when I come back on later. And then what I will do as well is I will post a pinned comment in this video's comments with a link to the new video too. And then in the new video, I will, sorry, I'm trying to do two things at the same time. Um, I will also, in the new video, put in order because I'll follow the order of the chat here. And I will list the order so you can kind of know where within the video your free reading appears as well. So I will do that and be back. I'm just capturing everyone's questions here. And let me just see here. Don't need to do all those. All right. So we're down to here. Let me just grab these. Whoops. And in the meantime, if you want to check out, I have a ton of pick a card readings too on my main channel and some other free content. So if you want to check those out, you could just click on my bruddaZEN Mystic Tarot name, and that will take you to that as well, to the playlists. So that is it, everybody. So I've got all the screenshots. And so please know, as you are going throughout each and every second of every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things. And of course, I love you guys too. Thanks for all the thumbs up. It does help spread the Zen love, and you get to be part of the Love Tsunami. So something free that you all can do. And until I see you guys again, enjoy the rest of your day or night, wherever you're at in the world. And I will be back soon. So you guys take care in the meantime.